Hi Sana, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, we want you to stay, so hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome to another amazing video on our medicine chat series with Wande. Now in today's video, I'm answering a question that a lot of you have been asking me. Why did I switch from a Bachelor of Sciences to medicine? All in all, there are many reasons as to why I made this decision, but in today's video, I've summarized it into 5 main reasons as to why I left my dietetics degree to pursue a degree in medicine. When the time came to make this decision, I thought about what my future would look like as a dietitian in comparison to being a medical doctor. Now, I'm talking in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s. What did I want it to look like? What career did I want to be looking back on at those ages? Now, when I look at dietetics and the career opportunities, honestly, they are endless. I could go into lecturing, I could go into private practice, I could go into public practice and community healthcare at large. But when I think about it, it's also quite specialized. All of these opportunities would be in the confines of diet, of nutrition, of looking at healthcare from the perspective of a dietitian and nutritionist. When I look at those opportunities in the medical field, yes, I can go into lecturing, I can go into research, I can go into private and public healthcare. However, I can explore many different parts of healthcare, not just limited to diet and nutrition. I ultimately decided it would be better for me to open up my horizons and open up my career opportunities to medical healthcare and those prospects as a doctor, where my specialization would only come in my early 30s. Medicine gave me the freedom to dream bigger, to push this little girl to imagine a world where she could truly do anything and everything she wanted, to become someone that people turn to when they need help, someone that people confide in when their lives are at stake. And I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to dream, to have had the support from my lecturers, despite them feeling that I would make a phenomenal dietitian. Now, this reason is probably the most honest and the most expected reason. I've always wanted to study medicine. I knew from when I was very little, and it was constantly affirmed by teachers, my parents, and people in my community that one day you're gonna make a great doctor. When I came to the end of high school and my results were not high enough for me to get into medical school, taking the BSc route was obvious, but also something that I didn't necessarily prepare for. Keeping the dream alive during BSc was not an easy thing to do. A lot of my lecturers would tell me, "You're doing so well as a dietitian, why don't you continue this and then apply for medicine afterwards?" Which I understood. They want the best for their patients and for the field of dietetics in general. However, I felt like I was constantly fighting to keep the dream alive, even when I would get a bad test result and I'm like, I know this is going to negatively affect my average and maybe I'm not going to be considered for the next group of medical school students. What I did do is to pray, to journal, and to constantly apply to ensure that, you know what, while I'm not a medical student yet, I'm studying like a medical student. I am communicating and advocating like someone that should be in medical school. I am putting in all of the hours that a medical student would put in. And I'm not seeing dietetics as a side opportunity or as a pit stop, but as a potential career where I would advocate at the same level as doctors would. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was meant to be a doctor. The way I would educate my patients would be in a holistic type of way. I wouldn't just focus on diet, but I would expand to environmental factors that might affect the treatment I'm advising. I would go into how does your career, how does your work, how do your family dynamics affect the advice that I'm giving you as a dietitian. And one thing I definitely am grateful for is the fact that in dietetics, I got to hone skills that I would use to become a better medical doctor. For example, my interviewing skills are stellar. My ability to get a patient to feel comfortable from the beginning of the consultation is something that I don't think all doctors can do. I'm able to build a level of trust and rapport that I think in dietetics was emphasized so much that I'm now able to apply that as a doctor and improve my patient outcomes in the long run. When my application was finally considered and that acceptance letter came through, for me it felt like it was perfect timing. Everything was now in alignment, and I would go from being the best possible dietitian I could be to being the best possible doctor that I could be. A doctor that listens to dietitians, a doctor that understands the healthcare team, a doctor that has been educated very well on ethics and on how multifaceted the healthcare team is. So this dream is a dream that I've always had, I've always wanted, and I truly believe that I was born to be a doctor. Another reason was family. Now this one is very close to my heart because the university where I studied my Bachelor of Sciences was smack bang in the middle of two of my homes. I was about 4 or 5 hours from Joburg and another 4 or 5 hours away from the Eastern Cape, where my family is kind of split. Now, I wanted to be much closer to home, and that would leave me with either getting placed in Gauteng or getting placed in the Eastern Cape for my studies as a medical doctor. When my acceptance letter came, I truly felt like it was an answer from God, because while I was able to thrive and excel in my academics during my Bachelor of Sciences, the distance from home was weighing on me. There were times where all I wanted to do was come back from a test and sit on my mom's couch, have a meal that she had prepared for me, watch television with my sibling, and really just have a chilled afternoon at home. But I couldn't because I was so far away. Getting that acceptance letter meant I would be so much closer to home. I would have weekends where I could simply drive home or take the Gautrain home and get to spend afternoons with my family and really refuel. Because I was so far away during my BSc, there were birthdays that I spent alone, my other family members' birthdays that I missed, family events that I wasn't in photos for, and some Sunday afternoons that I just couldn't connect and bond with them for. Thanks to my successful application at the University of Pretoria, I'm able to spend my birthdays with my family. I'm able to quickly drive down for family events and be a part of my family. Another thing is that being closer to my family keeps me grounded. It keeps me centered. And in a degree as challenging as medicine, you need your community. Having emotional support nearby has made all the difference for me. Because after BSc, it's not like all of the challenges disappear. There's other things you need to deal with and face, and I'm so glad that I have my family with me for this journey. At the time, it was quite scary. I felt uncertain, like I was throwing away years of work and effort that was invested in me to become a healthcare professional, whether that was through BSc or something else. But in reality, I wasn't rejecting all the support that I was given, but I was redirecting myself to be a more fulfilled, a more happy version of myself as a medical professional. And that's something I want to remind you of. Regardless of how many people have poured into your journey or how many people are certain that you're down the right path, if you get an inkling of a feeling that you're called for something else or that your path could evolve into something better, I want you to trust that voice inside you. I want you to take that leap and believe in yourself. I also would like you to remember that regardless of what's happening around you, you are not behind. Your journey is unique. Your path is one that has been crafted and designed and written just for you. So trust the process. Trust that everything is happening at the right time, in the right order, and in the right way for you to become who you were truly meant to be. And finally, I wanted to challenge myself. Medical school is not easy. There's endless hours of studying, there's time spent away from family, there are friendship dynamics and working relationships that are ever evolving and changing. And ultimately, it's a challenge that is life-changing. And I wanted this opportunity to build myself and to grow my character and also place myself in a workspace where I would not only change the lives of the people around me, but I would also change my life for the better. I didn't want to live a life where I was constantly wondering what would have happened if I didn't pursue this dream. Who would I become if I didn't have that title of doctor in front of my name? I know that going for this dream is not an easy challenge, but it's one that I'm equipped for, prepared for, and definitely have been designed to pursue and fulfill. The idea of pushing myself and pushing the limits of who I knew myself to be in high school and in BSc really motivated me to go for this dream and make that shift from being in Bloemfontein to being in Pretoria. I know that now I am much more resilient, much stronger, and way more confident than I was before I made the switch from BSc to medicine. I'm also in a position where I believe I'm able to advocate better for my patients, hence making this decision was relatively easy. Looking back, honestly, this decision and this journey have stretched me, pushed me beyond my limits, humbled me, and changed me for the better. I will be a doctor with a difference thanks to my unique journey and the switch from a Bachelor of Sciences to an MBCHB. When I think of how all these 5 reasons come together, wanting to be closer to family, being grounded in a degree with multiple career opportunities, as well as having the opportunity to grow as a person and not just a professional, I am so proud of myself for making this decision, and I hope my lessons make it only that much easier for you to also make this decision. So that's my story. Those are the 5 reasons as to why I left BSc in dietetics to pursue medicine. It wasn't easy, it was challenging, I had a lot of explaining to do, but ultimately I was chasing my dream and staying true to who I was meant to become. And now I truly believe I'm living in my purpose. If you're watching this and you're thinking of changing your career path, changing your degree, or making a big life decision, I want you to know that I am supporting you all the way. I hope you are able to learn something from my lessons, and it will be that much easier for you to make your decision. My producers are telling me that a small percentage of you have not hit that subscribe button. Sana, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and be a part of Medicine Chats with Wande. Leave me a comment. Make sure to share the video so that we reach more people and our community continues to grow.